For the fourth and final time today, what's up guys? Straight Shooter coming at you with one more review for today. We have a How I See It First. What isn't a first is I'm coming at you from Team Sound Studios, because I always am. I'm reviewing a movie that I've already reviewed. If you've clicked on this, you've seen the titles, so you do know where this is going. This is a spoiler red band review because this is rated R. I'm going to be reviewing the Zack Snyder cut of Justice. I reviewed Justice League, the version that was 2 hours long and that Zack Snyder started to shoot, couldn't finish shooting, and Joss Whedon came in and finished it. So this is the version that Zack Snyder had a bunch of footage left over after he shot that didn't make it into the theatrical version of Justice League. He finished the effects, he did some reshoots, basically finished his version of the movie. And it's kind of unprecedented because I won't go into too much because most of you know this if you're into the DC universe. People for a long time were saying release the Snyder Cut, release the Snyder Cut. But really there wasn't a Snyder Cut because it wasn't finished. He said, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to finish it. Zack Snyder, with the help of Warner Brothers, ended up saying, you know what, let's finish this movie. So they made a 4-hour-long movie of the Justice League. So what's different about the Snyder Cut? A lot of things. First of all, yes, you still have all the main actors, like you still have Ben Affleck as Batman, Henry Cavill as Superman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Ezra Miller as The Flash, Ray Fisher as Cyborg. You still have Jeremy Irons as Alfred, Amy Adams as Lois Lane, Diane Lane as Martha Kent. A pretty cool revelation. The general that was dealing with Superman in Man of Steel turned out to be the Martian Manhunter the whole time. The first thing that's most apparent is how different Steppenwolf looks. In the Joss Whedon version of Justice League, he was very CGI'd out. He had more of a face, but in this version he had more like a CGI-like suit, like a real like spiky suit. I thought this version looked cooler, but that's just me. The movie also is rated R, so it's a lot more violent. There are more F-bombs. Actually, I don't think there was an F-bomb in the original Justice League, but there are F-bombs in this movie. Also, what's different is a lot of the characters are more fleshed out. Cyborg is almost like a main character. Like, they tell his story so much in the movie, and they really do a good version of painting a picture of who he is. They really explore his backstory and his character, the relationship between him and his father. Like, there's a lot of animosity because of the fact that his father wasn't there for him. And they show that in his teenage years, he didn't show up to games. He was always stuck at the lab and stuff like that. And then he turned him into Cyborg by using the mother box. And we find out why, because he was in a really serious accident and he would have died. And the accident claimed his mother was trying to save his son. Cyborg always thought that it was a curse, like it wasn't a gift. And then throughout the course of the movie, he started to use his cyborg suit more to help people. And not just help people, but realize that he had more to offer than just an outlook like this is a curse. Wonder Woman was telling him it's a gift. Ben Affleck, I've said since Batman vs. Superman that Ben Affleck's Batman is a decent Batman. But I think it shows more in this movie how good of a Batman he is, because he's a lot more physical in this movie. He does a lot more fight scenes. He uses his batarangs more. He uses his grappling hook, and he fights the alien demons more. He's more of a badass in this movie, more so than most other Batmans that we've seen. The thing that impressed me most about this version when it comes to the main characters was the Flash. In the Joss Whedon version, I didn't really think much of Ezra Miller as the Flash. I liked him a lot more in this version. In the original Justice League, he was portrayed as like wet behind the ears, kind of bumbling, kind of didn't know what he was doing. It's like his first day as a superhero or something. In this version, it shows like what he can really do as the Flash, and he knows what he's capable of. He plays a key role in defeating Steppenwolf. Cyborg is connected to the mother boxes. Someone shoots the Flash when he's trying to build the charge to get him to separate the mother boxes. He can't do it, so what ends up happening is Steppenwolf wins, and the Earth starts to scorch and stuff. So Barry says, I have to break the rule, I have to go back in time. So he runs fast enough to go back to the point where it needs to charge to separate the mother boxes, and he does it, and then they win. The other thing I thought was really cool was that they actually had Darkseid in the movie. In the original version, like, you knew he was pulling the strings, but you didn't really see him fleshed out. Not only do you see Steppenwolf's motivations in this movie, you also see, like, Darkseid is pulling the strings. Darkseid is telling him, like, you need to find the mother boxes, you owe a debt to me, Steppenwolf messed up a long time ago, so this is his redemption, to find the mother boxes, to form the Unity, to help him take over this world. Ultimately, though, they're defeated. In a brutal, awesome way, they kill Steppenwolf. Superman punches him, like, over and over until he's incapacitated. Aquaman kebabs him on his trident, and then Wonder Woman takes her sword and cuts his head off. And then they send him through the portal to Darkseid. And I thought that was really fucking cool. All the fight scenes in this movie were really fucking cool. There was a lot of the footage, like a lot of the action scenes that I kept saying, wow, I can't believe they took this out of the theatrical version of Justice League. After seeing Justice League, because I didn't know what the Snyder Cut would look like, I ended up saying, it wasn't that bad. It was okay for what it was. But after seeing this, fuck Justice League. Zack Snyder Cut is where it's at. There's just so many things that are so much better in this movie than the original Justice League. And not only that, but it also makes all the other movies that were connected to it make more sense, like Batman versus Superman, Aquaman. You have Willem Dafoe and Amber, I forget her last name, Wonder Woman. You have all the Atlanteans, and there's more time spent on them. And there's more consequences surrounding the other movies. I never knew how much I needed to see this movie until I saw it. And it's very rare that you can see a movie like, okay, I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. And this Snyder Cut did for me what the extended version of Lord of the Rings did, but like tenfold. I won't watch the theatrical versions of Lord of the Rings. And after seeing this movie, I'm not watching the theatrical cut of Justice League anymore. No offense to Joss Whedon. I'm a big Buffy fan, Firefly, Angel, Dollhouse, all that stuff. But Zack Snyder knew what the fuck he was doing. It's just a shame that they've disavowed it from the canon and saying it's not going to have any consequences or be continued. But, they said that they would never release the Snyder Cut, and look where we're at, motherfuckers. So, you never know. And there's a really cool scene at the end where, okay, I was not a fan of Jared Leto as the Joker in Suicide Squad, but they brought him back for a dream sequence at the end. It's basically like in the epilogue of the movie. And he wasn't actually that bad. Or let's just say he wasn't as nearly as bad as he was in Suicide Squad. The movie was great, and I was one of those people that like, okay, give it a rest about the Snyder Cut already. It's not going to like be the be-all, end-all. It's not going to save the Justice League. I mean, look at what they were saying about it before Justice League was released in theaters. But I was proven wrong, and thank fucking God I was, because I'm so glad this movie exists. This is the version of Justice League that exists for me now. The theatrical version doesn't exist in my world anymore. But anyway, what else can I say? A fucking plus. I'll see you guys next time. This is Straight Shooter for How I See It. I don't know what episode number this is. I'll find out when I start editing. I'll see you next time, guys. Yeah.
No!